All right, let's take a tour inside one of the most fundamental and, frankly, most successful forms of life on Earth, the bacterium. Now, you might think of them as just simple germs, but you're about to see that they're actually incredible little microscopic machines.
So before we dive into the bacterium itself, you got to understand something really important. All life on our planet, every single living thing, is built using one of just two basic blueprints for a cell.
And here they are. On the left, you've got the prokaryote. See how simple and streamlined it is? That's our guy, the bacterium. Then on the right, you have the eukaryote. It's way more complex, packed with all these different compartments. You, me, your dog, that tree outside, we're all made of these complex eukaryotic cells.
Let's just quickly break down the key differences. The big one? Prokaryotes, like bacteria, don't have a real nucleus. Their DNA just kind of floats around inside. They're also tiny, about 1 micrometer across, and their structure is, well, pretty simple. Eukaryotes, on the other hand, have that classic nucleus. They're much, much bigger and way more complex inside. So for our tour, we are zeroing in on that original, stripped-down but incredibly effective model of life.
Okay, tour is officially starting. We're beginning at the very outermost layer. This is the bacterium's first point of contact with its entire world.
This layer is called the glycocalyx. It's a fancy name, but you can basically think of it as a sugar coat. It's the sticky, gelatinous jacket that the cell wears, made of sugars or proteins, and its whole job is about protection and interacting with the outside.
And, this jacket comes in two main styles. First, there's the capsule. This one's highly organized, tightly attached like a piece of well-fitted armor. Then you've got the slime layer, which is, well, it's pretty much what it sounds like, loose, watery, and super sticky.
And you can really see the difference here. Look on the left. See that clean, distinct halo around the cell? That's the capsule. Now look to the right. It's much more of a diffuse, messy-looking cloud, right? That's the slime layer. Two very different approaches for an outer coat. So why bother with the capsule armor? Well, it is an incredible defense. This shield can actually act like a stealth cloak, preventing the host's immune cells from even recognizing the bacterium as an invader. It's a huge advantage for any bacteria trying to cause an infection.
The slime layer plays a different game. For it, stickiness is everything. It lets bacteria cling to surfaces so they don't get washed away. And you know what the perfect example of this is? Dental plaque. Yep, that stuff is a biofilm, just millions of bacteria using their slime layers to stick to your teeth.
Okay, so we've seen the sticky outside, but how does this little machine actually get from point A to point B? Let's check out its amazing propulsion system.
Meet the flagellum. Now you might look at this and think, oh, it's just a tail. But no. This is one of the most amazing biological motors in the entire natural world. It's not a whip, it's a high-tech rotary engine. I mean, just look at this diagram. This is pure engineering. The flagellum is anchored right into the cell wall and membrane. You can see the rings and a central rod. This whole assembly literally spins like a propeller, pushing the bacterium through water. It's incredible.
And it's built from three main parts. First, you have the filament. That's the long propeller part you see. Then there's a flexible hook that acts like a universal joint, letting it bend. And the most important part is the basal body. That's the engine, the motor, with the rod and rings that make the whole thing spin.
So how does it steer? It uses this absolutely brilliant strategy called run and tumble. When the flagella all spin together in one direction, they form a bundle that propels the cell forward in a straight line. That's a run. But when they reverse direction, they all fly apart, and the bacterium just tumbles randomly in place until it faces a new direction. It's how it zigs and zags its way towards food or away from danger.
Okay, moving inward, right where that incredible motor is anchored, we find the cell's main structural defense. This is its armor.
We're talking about the cell wall, and its job is absolutely critical. It gives the bacterium its shape, sure, but most importantly, it protects it from bursting. There's a lot of internal pressure in a cell, and without this tough, semi-rigid exoskeleton, it would literally just pop.
And what is this armor made of? It's a unique and super strong material called peptidoglycan. It's this amazing mesh-like polymer that forms a single giant molecule wrapped around the entire cell.
And here's why this is so important to us. That unique peptidoglycan wall is the perfect target for antibiotics like penicillin. Why? Because our cells, our eukaryotic cells, don't have it at all. So antibiotics can attack the links in this bacterial mesh, weakening the wall until the cell bursts, all while leaving our own cells completely unharmed. We are literally exploiting a key difference in our blueprints.
All right, for the final stop on our tour, we're going past the armor and on to the bustling factory floor of the cell, the cytoplasm. And here we are. Unlike our cells with all their different rooms and departments, this is basically one big open-plan factory. Everything that needs to happen for the business of life, it all happens right here, in this one space.
Now this stuff on the inside, the cytoplasm, it's mostly water, but it is so jam-packed with proteins, ions, and all the cell's genetic material, it's less like a liquid and more like a very thick, very crowded gel.
So what's actually in this factory? Well, you've got ribosomes, the little machines that build proteins. You've got the nucleoid. That's not a true nucleus, just the area where the DNA is all bunched up. And you have inclusions, which are basically little storage granules for nutrients. That's it. It's a beautifully efficient, minimalist design.
And that's our tour. From that sticky outer shield to the powerful spinning motor, past the tough as nails armor, and right onto the bustling factory floor inside. It's a whole world packed into a single, tiny cell.
Which really leaves you with a question, doesn't it? We always call bacteria the simplest form of life. But after seeing the intricate, elegant machinery packed into this tiny space, you have to ask yourself, is it really simple? Or is it an absolute masterpiece of microscopic engineering?